Welcome back to our Let's Play Viewtiful Joe Part 2. Now this is technically film number 6. As you can tell, Do Androids Dream of Romantic Scene? I can't even begin to guess what title that's parodying, but here we are. And this segment's gonna be a little different for a number of reasons. As you can already tell, it's a little different than usual, but this film is going to have a lot of cutscenes in it, and I am not going to bother stopping and starting all over again every single time. I'm just going to let them play, and I'm going to talk lightly over them.
So, you've come. You fought all this way, without even realizing it was all a trap. But thanks to your efforts, I was able to analyze the data from all your battles, and use it as the basis for my most fearsome creation yet. The Miss Bloody Rachel!
I have no idea why Bloody is her first name. Or maybe it's a nickname, like Bloody Mary. Wonder if she has a drink named after her.
You!
Thanks for the Oscars, Joe. Now there's only one more left, and our forces are approaching it as we speak. You will perish here, and we will triumph over all! Now, my dear Rachel, take care of these worthless rats.
Confirming target. Commence warm-up function. Reset battle environment.
Yeah, time for the trademark Viewtiful Joe chapter of lots of repeats.
Warm-up complete. Change mode.
I knew we'd fight Big John in this chapter eventually. But yeah, this time not nearly the comedic stylings of Big John that we've come to expect. This time we're actually legitimately refighting him. And yeah, there's not much difference between these fights. The main thing is that not do as much damage as I'd like it to. The main difference, of course, as you can tell, is the amount of health. I think when we first fought this guy, quick on the draw there. When we first fought this guy, he had a yellow health bar, I think. And now he's into green. Ugh. And I don't recall him having unavoidable kind of lunge attacks that he could do, but what do I know? I don't hardly remember what I had for breakfast in the morning, so there's no way I could remember what happened in the first segment of, or the second segment of this LP. But yeah, now that we have the RHOH, I mean, I guess that's the main reason why they upped his health a little bit, is because now we have an attack that can completely obliterate him. Smacking from behind. Not at all in a very suspect place to be smacking. And the artillery is still as annoying to dodge as always. In fact, I say jump up when it comes down, because that's the only way I can think to avoid it. Otherwise, smack, smack, smackety smack. Oh, and... oh, come on! If he hadn't inched over to one side, we could have been able to finish him there. Oh... That's the lunge attack that's hard to avoid, but... whatever, he should go down here in a little bit. Oh, come on. Forgot that I had to push the jump while holding down in order to go through the floors there. Just letting all those bombs hit. And there we go. So the first segment of Rachel is beaten.
Miscalculation of target's power coefficient. Recalculate.
It always has to be a miscalculation. Why can't they just admit that they screwed up?
Our stats are off the charts.
That's right,
Wah, wah,
lovely Rachel. Forget all this math and come have a drink with... all three of us, a drink, together.
A robot, Joe?
How does that sound?
How's that possibly appealing? I don't get it.
Cannot compute data, have a drink. Reset environment and recompute.
And he always insists on, like, hitting on these other girls when Sylvia's right there. It's like, you'd have better luck taking relationship advice from John Edwards. Hey! That was a very old joke. Just, I kind of worry about these fights, actually. And wonder if I need any take-twos, since they're getting more difficult, but if we have one, we should just be fine. It'll especially not be as fun when we have to refight Frost Tiger, because same difficulty and everything, of course, just beefed up health.
Change mode.
Hey, back to Flinty.
Computation complete. Now, terminal function. Destroy, destroy, destroy.
Not nearly the humorous dialogue we're used to, though. Once again, we've got our old RHOH now, so he'll go down a lot more quickly. But yeah, now his health bar is dark green. It seems like that should be doing a lot of damage to him. I don't know why it's doing so little. And yes, I know what that motion looked like. I'm trying to avoid mentioning that. LOL. It is pretty cool that they're made of gold now, I have to admit. Much better than the first game where the refights were just, they were made of stone or whatever. Oh, it looked like he got stuck in the wall there for a second. She, because it's technically Rachel who's fighting us. Come on. I realize after having done this fight the first time that there was a whole strategy I could have done by hitting his tail, and now I feel like I can't do it properly. The main difference, I think, for, like, there is a little bit of a difference in between each fight, since it's Rachel fighting and not the actual guys. In that, I think for this one, Flinty does the drill attack more frequently. Similar to how Big John did the lunging attack is what he did more frequently. The first fight I remember, he did it very sparingly, actually. And for the record, yeah, I'm not even going to try fighting with Sylvia right now. I can't. It just doesn't work out between she and I. It's not gonna happen. Whereas these fights go pretty quickly.
Reason for defeat unknown.
You want to know why you lost there, honey?
Because you have no heart. Can't feel the fire without a flame in your soul. Ain't no calculus to explain that.
Why do you sound like a R&B or soul singer
Cannot process. No such function in Dr. Kraken's data. But wait, an incoming data stream, like an impulse.
Joe?
Yeah, I know. She's officially out of order. Looks like there's no reason to fight her anymore.
Okay, so I guess we're just done with... Jesus, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's very weird how they handle this whole sequence of events, because in the first one they're explicitly said, oh yeah, they're just stone people, whatever, just fight them and kill them, but here we actually do see her sort of evolve as... I hesitate to say person.
Oh yeah!
So, the next movie is a space flick, huh? Well, that's just fine with me.
Once again, we have bizarre, not funny dialogue. And this is a very reminiscent problem to solve. As you'll remember, we did the same thing in the first game. Well, I gave you an entire movie worth of time to go and take a leak, as he says, but whatever, let's just keep going. I think I forgot to save the last time, so... Don't want to get too careless now, do we? Try saving the first part of each preceding film. Otherwise, I mean, I could have a thing, like when I was doing LPs during the hurricane, and have my power go out frequently.
What is HEART? Input data on heart.
Sure, honey, but no more of this destroy stuff, okay? Let's be a little more upbeat.
Okay, Sylvia, let's give her a crash course on the last lesson she'll ever need.
Wait, they want no more of this destruction stuff, and yeah, it's pretty obvious we're fighting Cameo Leon, because they're just going in succession. And I think the difference here for Cameo Leon is that he just disappears more frequently. Or, yeah, disappears and reappears more frequently. Didn't dodge that as well as I should have. But they say no more of this destruction stuff when they're talking to Bloody Rachel explicitly, and then they let her go on and start acting like Cameo Leon. So obviously they want us to destroy her more. But yeah, it's very interesting. You'll see as this, you know, chapter goes on, there will be more personification of this robot as, and they become more drawn to her and all that kind of thing. It's very weird, but, you know. I guess the ultimate question is whether androids do dream of romantic scene. Yeah. Don't quite oh. Yeah, I forgot when he goes food when Kraken is on the is on the stage left, he means he's gonna start doing an attack. But when he is in the middle is when he's actually going for food. That's our time to strike! And then we get the food. Yay, burger. I don't mean to talk about nonsense stuff, but since these are just repeats of fights, I'll go ahead and mention. I actually had a burger at Hard Rock in New York City last night, meeting up with some friends who came out all the way up from Atlanta. They were just there for business and that kind of thing. Met up with them, showed them around the city, as if I lived there. When I tell people that I live in New York, they think, oh, so you live in Manhattan? I'm like, no, I live on Long Island. It's the oft considered far less interesting part of New York. Arguably more ritzy, though. Like, they just started, or are starting, showing on TV the show Princesses of Long Island. And it's basically a bunch of girls who are in their mid to late 20s, like me, almost. And they basically come back from college, don't get a job, and move back in with their rich parents. So, you know, just another one of those nonsense shows like Real Housewives or something, but I told my parents when I was home a couple weeks ago, I said, I'm gonna start a show, and I'm gonna call it Princes of Atlanta, and I'm gonna move back in with you guys. Is that cool? And somehow it did not flow over as well. I can't imagine why. Probably because my family's not ritzy and rich, but whatever. And one of my coworkers actually watched that Princesses of Long Island for one episode, and she said it was so bad she couldn't even stand it. And this was somebody who actually likes those shows like Real Housewives and stupid shit like The Bachelorette and that kind of thing. So, if the people who that show is intended for can't even like it, I can't imagine how it is to someone like me, who it just is so unbearable to watch. But what do I know? If it appeals to them, it appeals to them. There you go. Oh, I should mention one more thing before this fight is over. Anybody else notice that it's kind of odd, or I don't think the word is quite anachronistic, but you know, Dr. Kranken is supposed to be the one waiting for us at the back, and now, I guess because of the way the fight happened, he's right there in the background. I don't know. And that ending shot made it look like we actually defeated the fight, but, there is still one left. And we all know who it is, good old Frost Tiger. And I made a habit of mentioning who these enemies are voiced by, because I think it started with Hulk Davidson, just because I thought he was so awesome.
Change mode.
Yes. I'm trying to pull up here. I don't remember exactly who Frost Tiger is voiced by. I don't remember it being anybody who really stood out. Fred Tatasciore or something like that. I remember, or Tatasciore, excuse me. He's done in some minor roles. He's been in other movies, or not movies, but other games. He was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and some of you guys might know this. He was Saren Arterius from Mass Effect and Damon Baird from Gears of War. I will be honest and say that I haven't played either of those, so whatever, you know. I wish he'd done more though, because he's got a cool voice. All cold and sinister. And right now I'm trying to get him to come up here so he can actually freeze one of these platforms. Because I very much dislike punching the snowballs since they disappear so quickly. So punching these poles instead makes a fire come much more naturally. Yeah. Whatever. Seems like, I don't know if it's because of the Bloody Rachel mode that punching him in the front, even with the aura on, still does a pretty significant chunk of damage to him, so... get hit by that, but if I meet him up quick enough... there we go. Finally broke that aura. And now we can look to bringing some real hurt. And actually dodging attacks this time. Ooh. Oh, you shouldn't have gotten back out that quickly. I smacked you down on your cold, frosty behind. For the record, your flakes are not as frosty as Tony's. Yeah, I finally make a reference there now. You happy? Nah, he disappeared. There we go. That definitely should have hit me. I will not... Okay, there it goes. I was about to say, I will not complain, but there you are. Whoa, whoa! Now, bring the hurt. And I think the difference for Rachel this time is... Oh, okay, not yet. I remember reading, apparently he's supposed to go faster a lot sooner now, but... Hey man, if you're not, that's totally fine. Alright, I should be able to end this within a couple RHOHs if I get him from behind, like right now. Oh, come on! Oh, can I still get him? Okay, got him.
Heart cannot compute, but can feel. Heart equals beautiful.
She took on the role of Alistair there and exclaiming our beauty, as it were. So yeah, now we've done all 4 fights. Now, as is tradition, we're gonna come to one final boss, and I'm good on... I was gonna get a take 2 just because I know this boss fight can be tricky, but... Do not need Do not need. Actually, from what I remember, this boss fight goes relatively quickly. It has a couple difficult sections, but nothing necessarily to write home about. For since we have destroyed his final creation, we have to fight the creator.
My chest is warm. What is this?
That's it for your lesson. Think we were too harsh on her?
Maybe so. But now she understands what it is to be human.
We showed
Rachel,
her
could you please
humanity
give us the Oscars?
and love by beating the crap out of her. Makes sense.
Affirmative.
Whoa. Little,
Done it this time. What good is
a little
it?
intense there, wasn't it?
You've ruined my prize creation. Now it's just junkyard trash.
Jesus! I don't remember the scene being that harsh. And why do they care about her all of a sudden? It doesn't...
Sylvia, I can hardly believe you've been a threat to Ghetto for this long. But now I, Dr. Kranken, Black Emperor's right-hand man, shall stop your meddling once and for all. Now, take a step forward if you dare. Which fool wants to be pulverized first?
Oh, don't worry. It'll be just Joe. Yeah, now the thing about old Kranken here is that you see that one little yellow bulb? That's when we have to strike a few times and then his shield goes away. A shield which, for the record, hurts us. And when you're punching him and you stop hurting him is when his shield's about to come back. So that's a good indicator of when that's going to happen. Yeah, otherwise he just has a bunch of... they capitalize on the fact that he's like this squid-octopus hybrid creature in giving him multiple arms. He's not like the octopus in the Spirit, though, where he's like, I got 8 of everything! I'm not going to do my Samuel L. Jackson impression. That's right, I profoundly punch your ankles! Get in the middle. Oh, come on. And that is what happens when you get too close to his shield while fighting. Oh. Thankfully, when he goes to other locations after you've hit him, it doesn't reset. You see there, it's still pink and flickering. Gee, he sure does have a minimal amount of health stuffed into that fat head of his. Almost makes me think that there's going to be another form that comes not too soon on... or, not too shortly afterwards on the coattails of this form. Yeah, it's like this. Take this and that, he says. I can hardly hear his taunts over crashing of all the machinery. And again, the age-old complaint of not being able to hear the in-fight dialogue because of how loud and rockin' the music is. Of course, my commentary doesn't really help clearing it up at all, but... It's funny how he's glowing red, almost as if he's seething with anger. Or maybe it's just the blood pulsating throughout his body. That's morbid. Oh! So he decides to go all Sigma on us here at the end. Ooh, that'd be a fun game to West Play. Think about that, actually. Ah, now the circle is slightly tricky in that it blinks itself around sometimes, but that fight went really quickly. I forgot how easy that part was.
Black Emperor, glory to Ghetto!
You want glory? Maybe after you repent. But that'll never happen.
Whoa.
Even repentance wouldn't earn him any glory.
Enough with all these religious themes, guys. Seriously. Besides, glory to ghetto? If I was a kid living in the inner city, I'd think that this was antagonizing me.
The brain of Ghetto, Dr. Kranken, finally met his long-deserved demise, while Joe is more determined to fight than ever after witnessing the lovely Rachel's tragic charring.
How is she lovely?
I never forgive them. Such a hot chick. Never deserved to have her fuse blown.
Oh, Joe. Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, Sylvia, I'd be pissed too. Why didn't she smack him upside the head every once in a while?
Thank you for teaching me heart and the beauty of life.
Thank goodness. Rachel, promise to be friends?
Yeah, let's be friends, Rachel. Give me your number or something. Or not.
Yeah, be friends with me so that my boyfriend can hit on you instead of me.
Joe and
I
Sylvia
don't
spread the love, all the way to the sensory fibers of a steel android.
And Joe flicks off the camera in the background.
The iron fist of justice shall no longer be clenched with a destructive force, but spread in an embrace of boundless friendship. Joe entrusts the 6 Oscars to the most dependable man he knows, Jet, and heads off for his final mission.
I could see nothing wrong going there.
Determine the very fate of humanity.
And action. Oh, what, Uncle Jet? No witty dialogue for that scene? Jet seemed to be covered by the shot in shadow? Could this be the most epic and obvious foreshadowing our generation has ever seen? Well, you'll just have to wait until Starship Beauties. Oh, don't give this to Nicki Minaj or she'll ruin it. To find out! So, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, see you all later.